Good morning, everyone. It's Michael from NCY Store, and we're going to go ahead and check our dipstick level. I'm going to show you guys the new NCY dipstick. These are electroplated design. They are really neat. I think they're awesome. We're not sure we're going to use those yet because we still want to see we can still keep our decompression tube in there. But I did find the original dipstick. It was way hidden inside right here below where my crankcase was hidden. I knew I had to put it somewhere around here because I didn't bring it inside. I couldn't find the toolbox. And so I put it back over here now. So let me go and see. There it is. That's our original dipstick. I put it with the brake bleeder because I figured they're both kind of, greasy, oily. So let's check it out. We're going to go ahead and disassemble this. We're going to take out the oil decompression tube, the NCY one, from the oil side of it. And we're going to find out how much oil is really left behind from all that. And I realized actually I did pour some of the leftover one from another container into this container. So this wasn't actually a full bottle that we used up. We actually poured some from another previous container that had a probably good, almost the same, about maybe another 100 milliliter. So this was probably like tapped from another bottle as well to get it to that high of a milliliter. But I think we still put around maybe the most 775 or 800 milliliters, the most inside this crankcase with the oil cooler setup. And I think with the oil cooler, once we had crossed over the hose, it pretty much took it the other way anyway. I mean, it took out of it. Once we, tried to straighten our hose, not have it cross over the blue hose at the bottom there. It was crisscross. When we took it out, we opened the ports. Some of the fuel, I think some of them, oil leaked out. So I don't think it was like a full. It probably holds like probably an ounce of oil in there. Because again, these hose lines are like right here this thin. Maybe 3 ounces the most, with the radiator and everything. So we're gonna find out what's our oil level like, and then we're gonna go and fire up the bike again after we see what's the condition of it. So I'm just gonna get a quick snack, breakfast of champion. I brought it with me here. I love this stuff. You can get them at, I don't know if you guys have a Smart and Final in your area, but sweet and spicy. I don't get the peppering kind because you can just add your own pepper and it tastes exactly the same as if you were to add pepper to it. Well, this one's sweet and sour, a little bit pepper bits. I like the black pepper too. There goes some little Debbie brownie. Starting the day right. So we're gonna find out how much is in there. And maybe I can do this one hand. I need a little chair to help me out though. I'm using my trusty tripod, a new one. And I actually recorded vertically when I first recorded. I had to get some video editor to help me correct the vertical because I got too excited showing the tripod. I forgot that the camera started vertical. It stayed vertical. Well, I was on the first video, but you probably don't know it because I corrected it already. No. Pardon me with my mouth full and also running nose. Let me get some water real quick. Clear out the throat. It's gonna be fantastic today. My goal is to actually get this whole front cover off because I really need to get started on getting that brake line exchange. But while we do that, I want to actually see if I can get the remote start to work. And I know our RPM cluster, it'll be nice to get that working as well. So we'll see all these various of things. So looking forward to it. So let's get started, shall we? Here we go. Let's go ahead and see if we get the right socket. It's going to take a 17 millimeter opening socket, but we're also going to need, I think it's a 7 millimeter to screw the metal clamp off the hose. So let's go and find those proper socket. It's not so common when you use it, so we might actually have it down here. I tried to put the uncommon tools underneath, but since it's not there, so it has to be all on top. So let's go and look for that guy and look for that 7 millimeter socket as well. I think this might be the 7 millimeter. Oh, it might be too small. This looks way too, maybe could be. No, 6 millimeter. I don't think it's 6 millimeter. I could be wrong again. See there? Nope, it's not. It's a 7 millimeter. You can use a flathead too, but I prefer to have the socket. one thing I like to know where my socket is. Look at this guy here. He looks like he's 1/4, very small. All right, let's get these guys out a little bit. All right, let me get the power bank to recognize. Should be charging by now. This doesn't have a label, but it's probably not big enough. Doesn't look like it's 14 millimeter. There it goes. I thought I saw it. It's probably way underneath here then. We'll find it. We do have an open 17 millimeter. I do remember pulling it out for this reason. Or do we? I see 14, I see everything else, but I don't see our 17. Interesting. I have a couple of 14 now. That's interesting. Did I just put it down and didn't realize it? Look at this. I put it all the way down here. There you go. That's our 17 right there. I'll never find it, but I actually took it out already. All right. There we go. I think this is also our 7 millimeter. 17, 7 millimeter. Look at that. It kind of rhymes in the end number, huh? So this is our 7 millimeter, and we're using a 17 millimeter. This is what you need to open the decompression tube for the NCY oil cooler. I mean the NCY decompression tube. This is what you'll need. This is actually from a particle from the NCY oil cooler, so that's not part of it, nor the Prima. So here we go. Let me go ahead and set this down here. That way you guys can see me dismantle this. Now this is a cold day. It's a new day. So it's just settled in now. It's been 24 hours. And we'll see how it does on the cold start as well, what we just tuned yesterday. So this is actually considered the 4th day of tuning this video series. Let's see here. But it's probably video number 6 if I'm not mistaken. But we'll see. Let's see here. First of all, give me a towel to wipe. Not my oil cooler, but my nose. Excuse me. Oh, let it drain. I didn't sleep too bad last night. And you know what it's from? I think my back is getting better. I can actually go to the movies. Yesterday, a couple days ago, I went to go see Captain Marvel. I think it was on a Thursday night. Yeah. I was able to sit in the movie theater. Normally, I cannot sit in a chair position very long. I'll start getting, aching and pain through my leg and stuff. Or even driving. So far, I'm not, and I'm not even using the belt right now, which I should, just in case, help want to protect your back. So let me bring my belt soon enough. But let's go. Excuse me. So I'm really grateful for that. I'm not sure what happened. I feel better now than I did when the first few days I got my shots, and then I thought I'd start coming back because there was a tingling feeling in my nerve again. But now I'm not. I'm feeling really good. I mean, I feel like I can travel, meaning I can go on my scooter, sit upright, and just cruise around for a long time, no problem. So because I was able to sit comfortably in the movie theater, I even waited for all the credits to end. Well, actually, I didn't. You know how Marvel always have a little blimp scene after the credits are over? I took a restroom break, of course, because I'm not going to sit there watching a whole bunch of black screen with a bunch of letters and, credits. I mean, sometimes I do, but sometimes I'm like, I gotta go to the restroom. This is the only time I'm gonna get. So I went to the restroom, came back. I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys, but it wasn't it wasn't not predictable, the movie. How about that? So it's probably one of my least favorite, but it was still a pretty good movie for for the Marvel series. But it brought you back a whole bunch of old school stuff, which is kind of nice. But I think you kind of got from the Guardians of the Galaxy a little bit. But if I had to compare it to a DC Wonder Woman, I think Wonder Woman actually had advantage on this one over Captain Marvel. I think maybe the actress is seasoned more. Del Gagati or something like that. But other than that, I think it kind of helped, give a little bit of the Fury's history and so forth. But again, it was kind of predictable, the subway scene and everything, because you guys all see the preview, right, where she punched the old lady, right? So you knew that was going to happen. So they took the element of surprise already out of that scene. So you're like, oh, okay, I know what she's going to do to that old lady. Which I hope you guys seen it before I just said it. All right, here we go. I guess what I'm going to do, you know what? I got it loosened, right? Maybe there's no reason. This is how you would take it off to fill in your oil, let's say, okay? NCY decompression oil tube. You would, well, you wouldn't do this because it would start scraping. You would actually try to, oh, be careful, be careful. These are sharp. They can dig into your plastic, so you want to go ahead and unscrew them very loosely. They shouldn't be tugged in any way because they're like little knives in. So I think I got them loosely. There we go. They're very loose now. And that's what you want. You want to make sure they're loose. Okay, then you want to take your 17 millimeter. Okay, let's see here. All right, so we'll take the 17 millimeter now. I think we can actually twist it, and maybe the tube won't follow, right? We're hoping. So let's find out. Our 17 millimeter socket, you want to go lefty-loosey, just like you're doing, counterclockwise. Be careful, you do want to go lefty-loosey. There we go. I was afraid I might go in the wrong direction. You don't want to over-tighten it. So there we go. You can see here the hose is being held by its own, body structure, so that's fine. And I think you might even turn it by hand now, maybe. Nope. Still pretty tight because it's being pressured by its hose. So yeah, you just want to go ahead and keep the hose on there. You don't need to take it apart. But you do want to loosen the clamp so it can spin freely inside the hose, right? Okay, Ken, these are aluminum caps. So you want to make sure you get a full grip on it. I believe you can start, see there, you can start spinning it off. I'm just doing it by hand now. You can't see it because they all look the same angle, right? But yeah, see there, it's coming off little by little. There we go. All right, check this out. Oh man, this is like a clean tube. So let's take our dipstick, shall we? Unfortunately, not the new one yet, not the NCY one. But I will take another bite of my brownie though. Ah, so good. All right, there we go. My objective is at least get the brake line in by this weekend and get the alarm tested. Who knows, we might even get the remote start to work. I think with that new switch, not the blue one, we'll figure out that one too, but we want to figure out with the separate kill switch ground, maybe this is what helps the blue wire maybe actually trigger. So here we go, I'm going to put it in there. Now you don't want to spin it in when you're checking for your oil level. Just want to keep it in there. And then you can, of course, use a towel, of course. I'm using the same towel I blow my nose with, pardon me. It's a pretty big shop rag, so I'm not worried about it. I can get the other side. No, I'm not putting my snot back into my motor. Okay, here we go. Alright, so anyway, got a clean side of my shop rag here. Alright, oh, don't want to flex this guy too much here. He seems to be more in the way, but that's fine. Okay, so we're just gonna pull him out. When you pull him out, try not to hit the wall, will you? Oh my gosh, I don't see nothing. It's like dry as I put it in. Look at this. This is scary dry, you guys. This is not really where you want to be. Let me see. See if I can get a resolution here. Look at that. I hardly see anything. Wow, it really receded back. The thing about this concentration is, let's see here. Look at that. It's dry as a whistle. Now, the thing about this guy, he's really tricky, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to start our engine. We're going to keep him plugged in. We'll do it one more time here, so I even screw them in. Let's see how, even if I screw him in, let's see if I can even get a little bit of oil from him. Let's just even see if he's somewhere on the surface. Because you probably want to check your oil level actually when your engine's started fully. There we go. Oh my God, barely tipped a little bit right there. You can see a little glist. Sorry. See if I can do this again. It needs like a backing element to know that where you're trying to focus on is actually that part. See there? I got a little bit of glist. Look at that. You can see that little glist on the very tip of it. Okay, and I'm gonna wipe that guy off. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna wipe him off. See there, a little wet stain right there from him. Okay, let's go and put him back in. Then I'm gonna screw him in again because just trying to see if I can get some more of him. Let's see. Okay, let's check him out again. That's horribly low, right? We'll leave this guy dangling for a second. He's not touching the exhaust or anything. There's like about a centimeter gap. Yeah, so I don't want him to get burned by the exhaust. This line will get burned. Okay, you can see here, when I screw it in, I finally get a little bit in there. Now, it's very tricky because sometimes it gets hidden in there and it gets cold, so it stays isolated there. But we're going to start it right now. Right now, it feels like it's about 64. Okay, 64 in the garage. Maybe you go outside, hit the sun a little bit, you probably get to 67 or 69. But it's still pretty cold comparably now. So let's go ahead and fire up the engine, and let's see where his engine level is at after we just fired up for maybe about, you know, maybe about, just give it a couple minutes really. Should be enough to warm him up if we can get him started. So the gauge here comes on, everything's fine. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start him. I guess we got a good position now where we can do this. I'm gonna pull my finger, the lever, and then hit the start button here. So here we go. Now I have the manual choke still off, you guys, so you can see here, just push down all the way. Okay, let's do this. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna hold it for the first time we're gonna do it. We're gonna try hold for 2 seconds. Oh, not even coming. Oh, the kill switch is on. Dummy. All right. Ready for 2 seconds. We're gonna hold the switch for 2 seconds. 1, 2. Okay. The second time we're gonna hold for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's still, yeah, because it's really cold. Not extremely cold, but cold enough for it to cause problems. So let's do it again. Let's hold it for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it's a hard start when it's cold like that. So we're gonna need to go ahead and turn our manual choke. You see me lift them up. There you go, I lift them up right there. Then usually if you have a CVK, you have electric choke. Okay, I'm gonna do it for 2 seconds now. 1, 2. Okay. How long before I leave this off? Vibrating. Let's not touch it. Okay. Let's see if I can push it down or will it die prematurely. 1, 2, 3. Not bad. You can see how much more quieter it is all of a sudden, right? Jumps to it. So that's your manual choke for you to help you. And we'll leave it on for a couple minutes, and then we'll check our oil level. Just kind of let the engine siphon a little bit. There's some in there, but it's barely at the very tip. So we're in the borderline. We're probably between 300 or 400 milliliters left in there from all that dumping it did on its own. Now, it doesn't mean that it's not going to try to escape out again. So that is normal. So we need to tap it further once they actually, see there's white smoke here? Or, I'm sorry, that's not even white smoke. That's normal for any kind of compression. The reason why is because it's cold, so you'll get white smoke. So don't be alarmed. If it's warm temperature and you still see white smoke, then you're running lean. So sorry about that. I was thinking, I didn't realize I got white smoke coming out of my breath too. So it's because it's cold. Excuse me. Okay, our battery's charging at 13.5. Gonna rev the engine a little bit. You can pull like this. Nice. Alright. Hopefully our RPM gauge starts working someday, huh? About 30 more seconds. Woo. My water here. Alright, we're about to be Okay, let's go ahead and turn it off. And well, we tried every way possible. We turned off the switch, we set the alarm. Let's just, well, normally you know the key will work because it has nowhere else to go but turn off. All right, so let's do this. See a little bit of water condensation coming out. That's, yeah, that's mostly water. I don't think I see too much of just condensation from the vapors and heat. Okay, so let's go and check this out now. I bet you if anything, you're going to start seeing overflow because that's the way it does it. So here we go. It pushes the oil over to the front and it makes us believe that, you know, it has a lot of oil, but it doesn't. You can see where the oil was sitting at when it was cold start, so it's not going to be much different here. So let me go ahead and prepare the towel here. Just going to go ahead and put it underneath while we take the dipstick out. Yeah, this thing might be pretty warm. Yeah, this thing is like just a little bit lightly, not even jacuzzi warm, just lightly room temperature now. Room temperature hopefully is like, you know, 80 degrees, but okay, here we go. Gonna remove our dipstick. And we're gonna be able to see where the oil level is at now after this. Have to get used to this new tripod, how his method is. Okay, there we go. So you guys want to see how hot these guys are. I'm trying to feel this guy too. I won't touch this guy though, even for a 2-minute start. Alright, so here we go. Oh, look at that, see? Look at all. Now you're thinking, whoa, you got a lot of oil in there, man. Not really. Look at this, see? It's coming out. It's already pushed out. So its true measurement, look at that. Look how much oil just came out. And you're thinking, oh, man, I overflow with oil. Not really. You seen when it was cold, right? What it did to us? Didn't have any oil. Look how much it pushed out. And that's just gapping it a little bit. And that's just a 2-minute start. That's what would have gone into our our hose line when we started it. Had we started it, it would probably, you know, stay there, but since it had nowhere else to go, it came all the way to the very front here. So what we need to do is we do need to tap it, get it a little bit more fuller when it actually recedes back. So that's why you probably want to check your oil. After the engine's been siphoning in for one thing, and then the next day check it to see where the dipstick is really indicating, showing you. So you can see here oil, this much came just pouring out right now. So let me go and get this little thing and absorb it. So I'm not going to take it open anymore, but I just want to give you guys an idea of what it does. So you definitely want to make sure you put enough oil back in there. Don't do it when it's still like warm. Reason why is you won't get accurate reading at all. So you probably have to wait till it sits down a little bit. So when it sits down, it goes into the engine where it's supposed to go and it stays there. And that's where you can really see your true oil. So we did lose a lot of oil. Now if we assume that we overflow oil and just let it drip on zone, then it's going to deplete us from that 750 that we thought down to almost close to like 300, 400, 200. And we really probably can, I think this whole thing can bleed itself to death almost, not knowing it. So we know that we didn't put more than 750 or 775 milliliters the most. And then when you open this up, you see spurts of oil coming out. And you saw how it was actually completely, you know, dried. You know, dried as a popcorn fart, right? Until I actually pulled it in a little bit. I found a little part of glister on the dipstick. But the minute I started for 2 minutes, you saw there, oil just started spurring out, see? So it's false reading. I wouldn't take that, you know, as, you know, you have so much oil that it needs to get rid of. No, you don't. It's just pushing it out to this end right here. So we want to make sure we tap it some more with some oil before we really take the scooter for a ride. And we're hoping that the oil won't force so much out of it, out of the decompression tube. So we'll see what's going on with that sucker. I can't do anything right now with it because it's still, you know, trying to get its feel. I wish I can get some air out of it, but it's too late now. I can't go back and swap the tube yet, so we'll just leave it closed for right now. Hopefully the oil will sit in on its own. Maybe a little bit of air got in there and siphoned it out. So yeah, So that's it for now. That was it. We can't really do much tuning on it because the oil flow is just the way it is, and there's not enough oil really. But I think it started pretty well, I guess. We can start again just to make sure. Okay, we're not going to use our manual choke. It's pretty much down already. See that? This is open. This is open. This is when you need it, when it's super cold or cold. And this is when it's pressed down when you're not needing it. You know, it feels like there's a little spring that pushes it back down too, so like that. So it's held down by a spring of some sort. And so what I'm going to do here is go ahead and start it. You're going to do a 1 second push now, okay? Hold the brake lever. Yeah. Engine's turned on. Kill switch is turned on still. 1. Oh, that was too quick. 1. There we go. 1 second push. Yep. You don't see white smoke anymore. I think that was early in the morning. Yeah, it sounds like a normal scooter now. You know, it doesn't have that roaring noise, which is good. But you can see how what the choke did to it. Now let's check out the choke in the early morning startup. Okay, let's see what happens when we actually try to choke it while it's during, startup. Let's see what happens. Look at that, it dies. Over choke, see? So it does have to balance this air-fuel ratio. If you overthrow that all of a sudden, it just chokes to death. So we'll leave that down again. We'll start again. Keep the key in the on position. Here we go. 1, 2. Oh. 1 second, Lise. 1 second. All right, let's see. 1 second. There we go. That might be in a second and a half, maybe. I don't know. But it's still not bad, right? So yeah. We'll leave it as it is. We probably have no more than I think about maybe 350 milliliters still in there. So I don't want to take my chance. When it gets already down to the position where I can put my dipstick in there and find out that, you know, I probably want to keep my dipstick at about 800. So the dipstick, this go off. Too bad, huh? I already put it in there. I couldn't show you guys. Let's take out the look at the NCY one. That way, well, this guy still starts. Hopefully he doesn't do anything funny behind me, right? Okay, here we go. I hate breathing that stuff. You're right behind the exhaust. So let's check out the NCY one where it should be. Look at this. Look how nice this is. Let me take my boot out of the way. Get to really get started on this guy. Beautiful electroplated design by NCY. It even has a little rubber ring. I think they even colored the, oh no they didn't, it's just black. It looked like they covered it too with the reflection, but it didn't. It feels very nice and solid. And you probably not want it here, but on the second level right here. This is where you probably want your oil to be at, right there. So, preferably, or maybe just a little past it, maybe about, I say about maybe no more than a half a centimeter, like maybe right there. If I'm not mistaken, if this is like the XX one, where you have a whole bunch of X, and then you have the smooth area, I go past the smooth to the smooth area just by like half a centimeter. So like right there, so, or six millimeter or half a centimeter. Remember, a centimeter is bigger than, or yeah, it's bigger than a millimeter. So this is where I would probably put the NCY oil fill. Let's see how it looks. Just kind of get a visual of it, right? Let's see. If this was going into our scooter, look at that. I hope it doesn't look too fruity. I think in our case it might. Yeah, it's cool though. A little too fruity probably for my taste right now. I'd probably just stick with a black one. But yeah, for other designs, you know, I think it might work really well. People might like it this way. So, all right, well, let me take this scooter off so I don't have carbon monoxide poison. All right, so let's go ahead and kill switch. All right, and then we'll turn this off as well. Okay, so we got an idea here. So now we're gonna get started on actually dismantling the front, because that's what our objective was today anyway. Dismantling the front. Hopefully we could troubleshoot the remote start. I'll do some, you know, cross wire tapping, but the main idea was to actually change that brake line while we still have opportunity to when we get the front off. Probably gonna leave the front off until the front fork comes as well, because we're probably gonna be putting the new one. So I'm debating here. If I put the new one in, I have to sacrifice these guys, because I know once they come off, they're not going to go back on nicely. Because I think it's stripped thread, so we'll find out what we'll have to do there. So in the meantime, let's get started. I've been saying that, but now I'm actually going to do it after finishing my... Yeah, so these are really nice. They're by NCY. Here's the part number.
How many minutes?
Here we go. 1100, 1454.
1 minute?
Maybe 4 minutes. And you need to... He's asking me how to warm up a pizza. There we go. Let me go help my nephew there. I think he puts it in a little small tray. You probably won't be able to. Okay, Nathan, you gotta put a bigger plate. You ready? Let's put a big plate. Here you go. You gotta put in this one. It's a microwave safe.
I did.
Made in stove. No stove top or boiler. Break in. All right, you did it. Okay, you gotta put it probably at least for 4 minutes. Okay, little Spider-Man. He looks so puzzled. All right, so here we go. We're gonna go ahead and get started on this guy here. A lot of Phillips to remove, some Allens. It's all worthwhile. Or we think. So, all right, here we go. So let's bring. Where's my rubber screwdriver? I found it, I lost it, I found it, I lost it. Because it fell in the cracks. There's a few here that fell in the cracks, so I'll make sure to get those out. Or did I bring it over there already? Kind of nice to have it back, right? That rubber one was actually pretty good. I liked it because it gave you two different Phillip head type. A narrow one and a little fatty one. Call it fatty one. And depending on what I have it need it for, it works. Did it fall through this crack? Nope. But I don't see it in here as well. So did I bring it up here already? No, I didn't bring it up here. All right. No, I don't see it up here. So we'll leave this guy alone for now. Huh, would be nice to find that guy. Maybe they put it back in a drawer here. I got all kinds of